Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got some very disappointing news, and so I'm going to rant on for about 8 minutes, talking about some of the just plain disgusting stuff that we've seen in the past few days, and actually recently in the past probably few years as well. Um, let's start with the news that broke last night. Now there was two things that broke last night. The first one was regarding Galal Yafai versus Francisco Rodriguez. Matchroom Boxing announcement today. The Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, (VADA), informed Matchroom, the World Boxing Council, and the British Board of Control that Francisco Rodriguez has returned an adverse analytical finding as part of a post-fight night anti-doping test following his bout with Galal Yafai on June 21st, 2025. Obviously, that bout, Francisco Rodriguez coming in huge underdog in that fight. Big task, upsets, fights exceptionally. I believe he broke the record as well. Rodriguez landed 575 punches, a record for the flyweight division from over 1,000 punches thrown. I mean, it was unbelievable the work rate he put out. But I guess if you're fucking juiced up, it's not that hard. And it comes along with the ITA reporting that athlete Imam Kartiev has been sanctioned with a 2-year period of ineligibility after testing positive for clomiphene and its metabolites following an out-of-competition doping control on the 9th of April in 2024. Now, Imam Kartiev, he's supposed to fight this weekend against David Morrell. That's on the Ring 3 undercard. It's odd because this says that he was banned or found to have been on clomiphene 9th of April 2024. Now, since then, he's had at least one fight, if not two. And it's supposed to be a 2-year ban ending in 2027. I believe it actually starts on the 26th of July or something. It's really weird the way that they've sanctioned this or done this. I don't know why it's taken over a year. If they found something, why didn't it just come out properly? Now, I believe that this has got something to do with the ITA and IBA, which actually is more focused on the amateurs. So whether you're allowed to be on clomiphene when you're a professional or how it works, I do not know. Whether he was not on it at a certain time, nothing has been said. As far his fight against David Morrell, which is in now, for me, 3 days, it hasn't been cancelled. They haven't made any press release talking about it. But let's focus on the one that they have focused on and have definitely found guilty, Francisco Rodriguez, who's now going to be stripped of that win, and who knows what else he will be. Galal Yafai will have that one loss off his record. It's starting to become a bit of a joke, if I'm being honest, and I don't want to dig out any individual. Obviously, Eddie Reynoso, he has been now found with another fighter that is on steroids, with another athlete in Eddie Reynoso's sort of lineage that has been found guilty. Now, we've had Canelo in 2018, Ryan Garcia in 2024, although that wasn't when he was with Reynoso. Garcia finished his stint with Reynoso, 2019 or something. But it's still somebody that has trained in and around Reynoso's gym. We had Jaime Munguia directly under Reynoso this year in that Bruno Sarash fight, found guilty. Other Reynoso fighters, 2-division world champion Oscar Valdez in 2021, flyweight champion Julio Cesar Martinez in 2019, Luis Neri in 2017. I can't remember if Luis Neri was actually with Reynoso at that point or whether he'd finished with him. But either way, it's all banking up. It's all there. Obviously, with the ones that weren't with Reynoso at that time, it's hard to blame Reynoso. To be honest, it's hard to blame Reynoso for any of them, because Reynoso is the trainer. But with most of these elite athletes, like, I don't know how many people work for Canelo, but he will have his coaches, his trainers, his doctors, his dietitians, his everything else. But if they're with Eddie Reynoso's team, you would assume that for a lot of these camps, they're the same people. Now, someone needs to work out in that camp who is doing it everybody seems to come out and claim that they don't know how it got in their system. I haven't actually seen Francisco Rodriguez come out with any statement yet. But this is now coming down to this Francisco Rodriguez one. Now, he's going to face the British Board of Control and the World Boxing Council. They are in charge of this. Now, over the years, we've seen fighters. Ryan Garcia, he got a year suspension. Fury, he got a 2-year suspension back in 2015. Jarrell Miller, the first time he got banned was for 6 months. These are just the recent ones. I'm sure I'm missing a few. We don't know what Jaime Munguia is going to face yet. They need to come down hard on this. It's beyond a fucking joke. Like, we look at swimming in the Olympics. You're found on performance enhancers. You're banned 4 years plus. Athletics the same. Big long bans. In Australia, I'm just trying to think of an athlete that we've seen recently. If you're a fan of rugby league in Australia, Bronson Xerri, he got a 4-year ban for being on performance enhancers. And even other sports in which any sort of cheating occurs. Michaela Mudryk, the Chelsea player, has been banned for 4 years for being on steroids. I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5 years for swimming, athletics, and soccer. And rugby league. Now, rugby league, I'll probably put the exception to, because it is a dangerous sport, but let's look at those other ones. People are getting banned for 4 years, to 5 years, to 6 years, to 7, however long, right? But big, almost career-defining bans, because you get banned at 24 and you get a 6-year ban, you're 30 and you don't know when the next Olympics is, you've got to try and get back in the pool and all sorts. So, swimming, athletics, soccer being banned for 4 or 5 years for steroids, in which none of those sports, you're cheating all the other people that are competing, you're cheating them out of medals, you're cheating them out of their hard work. But guess what? None of these events, none of these competitions, you're not going into swimming, you're not going into athletics, you're not going into soccer, going in there and risking anybody's life. Boxing, you're risking someone's life, you're going in there to hurt someone. You're going in there to possibly give someone a career-ending injury, brain damage, dementia, all sorts, if not worse, death, paralysis. We've seen all of this happen in boxing, right? It's the world's dangerous sport, and someone's going in there, juiced up, well and truly breaking the rules, battering someone, and hey, guess what? You get a year ban. Like, I look at Garcia, because I think that was a fucking joke. You have Ryan Garcia, possibly the biggest name in the sport, right? Beat the living daylights out of another huge name. Since then, we haven't seen Garcia beat himself. He's had one fight. And guess what? The amount of time it took for Devin Haney to get back in the ring and look average was the same amount of time that they banned Ryan Garcia for doing that to another fighter, right? They need to really fix up and fix this and make an example out of someone. Now, they've got an opportunity here. They've got Jaime Munguia and they have Francisco Rodriguez. 2 names. Jaime Munguia is probably a much bigger name than Francisco Rodriguez. But nonetheless, you have 2 fighters here. You take away all their money from the fights that they were on steroids, right? And you hit them with 4-5 year ban. I would be surprised the next fighter we see on steroids, to be honest with you. Because someone cops a year suspension like Ryan Garcia, guess what? Ryan Garcia doesn't really fucking care if he only fights 1 time a year. If I'm being honest, he doesn't care. And during that time, he was looking at doing an exhibition fight in Japan because the jurisdiction only banned him from certain competitions. It's not good enough. It's unfair to everybody that's competing fairly, and to the families of all those people competing fairly, because whatever happens to that fighter's got to go home to their family, right? With whatever you've done to them in the ring whilst you've been juiced up and just fucking around for what reason, I don't know. Alright guys, that's the news for today. Went on a bit of a fucking rant, but the boxing community really needs to speak up and voice their disdain for these cheating, for this PED, because We've now seen a few cases this year already. Saw some cases last year. It's not changing. And we look at this fight that's just gone, right? Galal Yafai, big Olympian, goes into the sport, suffers his first loss, gets hit a lot of times, gets dominated in that fight, right? So he's going to lose some confidence. He's going to have a bit of backlash. He's going to doubt himself. People are going to doubt him. All because what? He got in there with a guy that was juiced up and put record numbers up because guess what? I was on performance enhancers and I can do that because, I've been fucking around in my gym to get to this stage. So people need to speak. The British Board of Control, the WBC, everybody needs to be put on notice that you gotta hit these people hard. You got to make an example out of someone. I don't really care who it is. I have no personal grudges against any of these fighters. But if you're on performance enhancers, then you're as guilty as the rest of them, right? Now, I do understand that some people have adverse findings. They have, they might go to court and prove they're innocent. And guess what? If you go to court and prove your innocence, then you're innocent and you shouldn't be called a drug cheat and you shouldn't be banned. But these people that go for their B sample and get that positive can't prove in any way, shape or form that they aren't guilty. They come out and say, oh, but I don't know how it got in my system. Well, it probably got in your system from taking supplements, right? That you're not supposed to be taking. I get it. Some people put up levels that are because of different supplements being contaminated. I'm sure that with all the science that goes around, they can prove normal levels with slight adverse findings to levels that are adverse because you've been doing the wrong thing. All right, to close out this video, because this has been a rant, there was some news today, if I can find it, about Chris Eubank after facing the British Border Control. Chris Eubank Jr. has been fined £10,000 for misuse of social media by the British Border Control. Violated the board's rules when he posted footage of him using a sauna to make weight for that kind of Ben fight. Yeah, I mean, Chris Eubank Jr. won that fight and made a lot of money, but he spent a lot of money to win that with the egg slap and this and missing weight and all sorts. So more power to him, I guess. He's got the money. He's anyway, all right. That's the video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Make sure you tune in the next few days. I'll be dropping a big breakdown, analysis, prediction video for this Ring 3 card. Very excited about it. Some good fights. If I find out what happens with Imam Kartiev and that David Morrell fight, I will let you know. I have already pre-recorded that video that's dropping later this week. So that is still being made with the assumption that Imam Kartiev is fighting. If he drops out, I'll see what I can do. I might add something at the end of the video or try and edit it to change that. But we'll see what happens. Make sure you tune in for that. Click the subscription button. Put your notifications on. And I'm out of here, guys. See ya!